Welcome to the Thursday edition of the Spark Creativity Teacher Podcast, a podcast for English teachers in search of creative teaching strategies. English teachers like you. Whether you're new to the show or a longtime listener, I'm really glad you're here for today's edition of Highly Recommended. On this week's mini episode, I want to answer a question sent in by a member of our community. Here's what she writes. Hey Betsy, I have classes of 10th graders who are so divergent in skill levels. Some are reading Murakami for fun, and some are reading at a 5th grade level. I am struggling to differentiate for them and provide challenge for the strong and support for the others. Today on the show, I'm going to offer some ideas for this listener, and I hope they can help you too if you find yourself in the same boat. Okay, so my first thought with this class is to suggest trying hard to have a range of whole class texts, book clubs, podcast clubs, choice reading units, and choice-based projects with lots of different final product options. I just finished reading Katie Novak and her team's book, Universal Design for Learning in Language Arts, and so much of what she talks about in that book would apply here. So let's dive into that a little bit. Universal Design for Learning, which, by the way, I would really recommend exploring, suggests that when you plan bearing the needs of all your learners in mind, you better serve every learner. By providing the options and scaffolds that will help one group of students, you'll actually be serving up a stronger learning experience for all your learners. One of my favorite quotes from the book is, quote, UDL lives in the or, end quote. So let's talk about how you might apply the choices inspired by UDL to a unit with a highly varied group of readers. Let's say you're going into book clubs about identity. You want to provide options that can engage all your different reading levels without simplifying the content, since you know your students are mature thinkers no matter what reading level they might be at. Maybe you also have several students who have trouble decoding print and several emerging bilinguals who recently immigrated from another country and speak another language, and their English is still emerging. So as you design your book clubs, keeping all these different kids in mind, you choose 2 graphic novels that weave memoir together with stunning illustrations that help tell the story. You choose 1 verse novel that's engaging and also accessible. You choose a longer historical fiction novel that you also have an audiobook copy for. And you choose a contemporary award-winning YA novel that's available both in audiobook and ebook on Libby. And you know that on Libby, there's an option to translate the text into 15 other languages, including Spanish. Now, you've created a lot of different paths into texts that approach identity, providing options for readers and learners with different strengths and challenges. The audiobook version may benefit a student with a high reading level that's incredibly busy caring for his siblings, as well as a student who has trouble decoding print. The graphic and verse novels may help readers who need a ladder back to books and also open up new genres for your advanced readers. The idea in UDL is that every student benefits from all these choices, right? Now, let's say you're moving into a whole class text, the Odyssey. Again, if you consider the needs of all your many learners, you can gather different access points for the same text. You can make several copies of Gareth Hines' graphic novel version available to check out as well as look at during class time. You can help connect students to electronic versions with translation options. You can look for the best audiobook version of the best translation out there. And you can practice close reading with both visual and print passages with your students in class, modeling the strategies that all your readers need to dig deep into the meaning behind the pages. Last, but not least, there's choice reading, and you probably know what I'm going to say here. Building a thriving choice reading program is an incredible way to support your readers on every level. When you provide a huge range of options, from picture books to graphic novels to novels in verse to short stories to fantasy to the classics, you'll be able to meet all your readers where they are and help them progress. I've got a lot of episodes out about this already, so I won't dig in too far. But you can build whole units around choice books, letting kids read what feels right to them and still creating a class curriculum built around the development of skills you want to see them improve and projects that offer many choices. Okay, I'm going on a bit long for what's supposed to be a mini episode on Thursday, but if this is an issue that is always on your mind, as it is for so many educators, today I want to highly recommend that you remember that one simple phrase: UDL lives in the OR. And maybe grab yourself a copy of Universal Design for Learning in Language Arts. It's a quick read, and I am giving it all the gold stars.